Truth. The truth behind the separation of Malaysia and Singapore. Singapore merged with the Federation of Malaya on 16 September 1963, alongside with Brunei, Sabah, and Sarawak, forming Malaysia. Singapore did not last long as a state of Malaysia due to the dispute and ideological differences with each other. This led to frequent disagreements within politics, financial, and social policies and broken promises.
One of the reasons why Singapore separated from Malaysia was because of the economic problems both countries faced. Singapore was snatching businesses away from the rest of the Malay states.
I had to make a call. It may be a hard decision, but I had to do it. Mr. Chinchay, good evening. I greeted. We talked about what was happening in Singapore and Malaysia, and then I told him I wanted to see him.
Good evening, Tunku. Yes, I shall see you tomorrow.
Malaysia also failed to set up the common market as promised, and they continued to tax Singapore goods. There were also political reasons why Singapore separated from Malaysia. There was the disagreement over treatment of different races, as Singapore wanted to treat all races equally, while the central government proposed more benefits to Malaysians than other races. The other reason was that there was social tension between races because of the fight between PAP and the Alliance, as both parties could not get along peacefully. Racial riots occurred almost every single day in the streets, and it was difficult for the police to control the situation.
There can be no doubt that the riots were initiated by the UMNO. They ran their communal campaigns in Singapore without proper consent. They could have done this on purpose so that we, PAP, would take the blame.
Tunku, unable to resolve the crisis, decided to kick Singapore out of Malaysia, choosing to sever all ties with the state government that showed no measure of loyalty to its central government.
As I entered the door, I was so frightened because I didn't know what was going to happen. I was sitting across the leader of the Malay states.
Mr. Chinchay, I called him. We talked about the current situation that our nation was currently facing. It was my decision to separate Singapore from Malaysia. It was a hard decision, but I knew it was for the good of the other Malay states. Singapore was benefiting too much. My dear Chinchay, I am writing to tell you that I have given the matter of our break with Singapore my utmost consideration, and I find that in the interest of our friendship and security and peace of Malaysia as a whole, there is absolutely no other way out.
If I were strong enough and able to exercise complete control of the situation, I might perhaps have delayed actions, but I am not. And so, while I am able to conceal tolerance and patience, I think an amicable settlement of our difficulties in this way is the only possible way out.